It's pink, but it's not too pink. You can actually read it, because I remember being like, hey, you can't even read this, guys. I need this fixed. And they fixed it. So let me know if you enjoy it. There's even buttons now for you to be able to contact me or book readings, etc. All that great stuff. So do me a favor, check that out. While you're doing that, I have to pull up the rest of my docket here, because I wasn't sure what was next. So one second. So the next thing I want to chat with you about is Court of the New Moon. I am excited about the spinoff of Lua Nova. So those of you who did not get to hear the episode that is called Introducing Court of the New Moon, Court of the New Moon is my new podcast, and it will be right here. So you don't have to go subscribe to a new podcast, and it's all going to be under one podcast. So the Court of the New Moon episodes, for now, will be once a month, because I kind of want to see how this goes. I know that with me doing tarot readings and the amount of work that I put into episodes, that it can be a lot to take on extra work. And as I said before, the Friday frequency became difficult because it's hard to come up with that many affirmations and journal prompts. You know, I was really struggling there. And even though that was, I think, like a 10-minute segment tops, it wasn't that easy. But you see, with Court of the New Moon, because you're contributing your cases, I am able to already have what I need in front of me, the material. And so if you didn't get to hear the introduction to Court of the New Moon, it is going to be where I am your spiritual judge. Now, this is such big Virgo energy. I want you all to understand, I'm not going to be coming down hard on anybody. I'm not going to be criticizing you for what things that you have done. This is supposed to be a fun podcast. I think that there needs to be more fun. And I wanted Lua Nova to be something where I teach you about manifestation, but I also wanted there to be a fun method to it that had nothing to do with just manifesting. And this is, I think, the best way to do that. And so just like the court shows that you have watched, what my listeners will be doing, that's you will be submitting a case. And when you submit a case, it will be based on, for instance, a love spell that's gone wrong, or a manifestation that did not go quite how you want it to, or maybe manifesting from ego, or cutting off the wrong people who you should have been grateful for, etc., etc., etc. When you submit those cases to the Lua Nova team, they will then be sent over to me, and I will be the presiding judge. Okay? And so one of you will be chosen to come to court, come to Court of the New Moon, and once a month. And originally I said that I wanted it to air on Fridays, but it's now going to be on Wednesdays. After talking to my team, you know, they work with other podcasts, etc. Wednesday is actually the better day to do this. So once a month on Wednesdays, you can listen to Court of the New Moon. And again, it's going to be fun. It is going to be literally in the method of how court shows go. So, and I am planning to get a gavel for this. I'm not even joking. But Mom, you wanted me to be a judge. You said I would have been a great judge. So here you go. If you hear this, I hope that you enjoy it. And because you're on Patreon, Mom, you're going to get to hear it first. So Patreon members, you are going to get to hear the very first episode of Court of the New Moon at the end of this season. So I haven't recorded it yet. I do know which case I'm choosing. And the team does reach out and let that person know that their case was chosen. That way they can tune in and give follow-up if need be. But I will be giving them a real sentence, such as you are guilty of manifesting from ego, and I will also be giving a real verdict, such as I sentence you to writing 100 self-love affirmations that you came up with and that you did not ask ChatGPT to do for you. And and I expect you to say them out loud every day for a month. But let's just kind of give you the idea of the kind of judge I'm going to be. I think you're going to really enjoy that. And another thing, here's the really big announcement. I hope everybody is tuning into this part. Court of the New Moon has its own website. So go to courtofthenewmoon.com to submit your cases. Now, it's a very plain website. Well, it's not plain. I don't do anything plain, but there's not a lot on it. It just has a section for you, a button for you to submit your case, which is going to be an email format. And then I think there's another button for you to go to the Lua Nova website, and that's it. It gives you a description and the disclaimer. And that disclaimer is long. I'm not going to be reading it on the show. I might have it read and put in audio format. I don't know. I doubt it. Why do that? But why do that? I could just put it in the show notes, right? But I hope you all enjoyed. I'm actually really excited to get started on that one. But again, go to Court of the New Moon, submit your cases. Okay.
Lua Nova Codes of Manifestation. Códigos de Manifestação Lua Nova.
Code 808. Abundance isn't coming, it's already here. So act like it. Come on in, New Moon. Yeah, can you do me a favor? Yeah, absolutely. Can you close the door behind you? Take a seat. Yeah, no problem. What is that look on your face? There's nothing wrong, not at all. You're safe here. I just thought that you and I needed to have a chat, okay? And oh my God, yeah. Why are you nervous? Stop. No, shake it off. Shake it off. There's nothing to be nervous about. It's just, I'm somebody who likes to mind my business. Okay. So I had to go return something. And while I was out and about, I was thinking about that. The people are always in my business, but I don't like being in other people's business. The whole card. Yeah. You heard about the Cardi thing? Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, right. Exactly. So as I said, I was out minding my business again. And I can't say I ran into them, but I heard two people talking. And I did speak to them briefly, but, that's why I said I ran into them. But I'm not going to say who they are because I think you know exactly who I'm talking about. And I didn't mean to eavesdrop as I was, went over to a different section. But I did hear something that I think that you need to know about. So they started talking about you. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. And I typically am not that type of person who's like, let me tell you what they said, but I think you actually really do need to hear this. And I want you to hear it from me. Now, will you hear it from them? Probably, but I want you to hear it from me too. Okay. Oh my God, please stop giving me that face. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Take a deep breath. Exhale the BS, but I am going to tell you what they said. So one of them, the one, that one, they said that they can't believe how much your life has changed recently. That it seems like they've been watching somebody have this overnight glow up, but that they know it's not overnight. And not just even on the outside, they said that like you're radiating this sort of peacefulness and that your spirituality is actually coming through, that you're taking it very seriously and it was inspiring, and that even the way that you walk, the way that you carry yourself is just completely different now. There's a lighterness about you. There's a more confident way about you. And it's like you finally understand your true worth and what that actually means, and not just the sugar-coated version of that. But the other person was taken aback in the best way. It wasn't in a negative way. It was, wow, that's inspiring. And not only have they noticed, I think it's something that everybody's been noticing about you. And so the other one was like, I've been wanting to manifest effortlessly. They actually put me on to Lua Nova. I was excited to have a chance to say that to Josie as she, went on about her day. And so, I can see that, the people who tune in seem to really be getting it, whether it's from Josie or Abraham Hicks, etc. And it's something I'm looking into, but they were inspired by you. They were inspired by the fact that you are showing up for yourself. And that's not something that I take lightly. And when people say that, it sounds like buzzwords. But showing up for yourself is a lot more difficult than it actually sounds. So I know that there were times that maybe you felt that you were really far away from what it is that you were wanting to manifest or the life that you were wanting. But I can see that you're already figuring it out. And so I was just sitting there for a second thinking to myself, of course you got it. Of course you did, because you were always going to. And so the person who said that, they want to work on themselves and that they were inspired by you, but, they were already talking about how they want to manifest a car and they want to make more money. And I thought to myself, you really don't get it, do you? because that's what you're seeing out of my new moon, but that's not what